What up, everybody? I haven't done one of these in a while, but it's me, PAINBOT. I haven't really done a podcast in forever, but it's about that time. KOF is around the corner, and kind of getting back into content creation again. And podcasts were really fun, so I kind of want to go back to doing that. And I got some people with me today. Instead of me talking to one person, I got three people to talk about all kinds of stuff we're talking about today. And I'll introduce them to you.
Pulling up to him.
Today I have Coach, I have Dogy, and I have Bates. And if you don't know, the coach also goes by Mr. Annual, so there's no telling really. Look, I always get confused. So, Coach, do I call you Coach or Mr. Annual? Like, what is the one? What would you want me to call you?
Nah, just say coach, man.
Just say Coach. Okay, so, but when people ask, I say Coach. So I'm like, well, that's Mr. Annual though.
Just told you, just say coach, man.
I'll say Coach.
He just told you, bro.
Like, I know, but I have to reroute him correctly. That way they can follow his social media.
I'm pretty sure nobody looking for me.
Nah, they gonna be looking for your ass.
Oh no! What did we sign up for today?
Oh shit!
Man, y'all know Bates. I would assume if you're in here, you know Bates.
Do we? You're talking about routing people to social media. You can't find them on
I
any.
can't believe he said that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even be on social media.
Yeah,
Like,
Bates
I
don't be on nothing, right? So I guess they wouldn't know. But
I mean, he just made his first post of 2022 like this week, right?
that cracked me up when you said that shit, Doki. I was dying because at first I saw your post, right? I didn't see Bates's post. I saw your post, and I looked up. I saw it was Bates. I was dead. That was a wrap.
that hurt a little bit. Hey man, when I do post, just try to make it count. You know what I'm saying? Just to help people out.
It sounds
Somebody
like
wants
you
to
care
hear
about
my
humanity.
opinion anyway.
What?
It
Staying on
sounds
social
like-
media?
You care about your sanity, man, and so nobody
do.
can fault you for that.
Thank you. I just try to keep to myself sometimes. That's all.
Yeah.
Not trying to consume all the trash that's out there right now.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of garbage that you could possibly put your eyes upon, But you can't fault someone for being trying to be a regular human and just live their life, right? So if Bates doesn't want to be on social media, it's the same shit.
I get attacked, man. Why you ain't on social media? Where you been at? How do you not know about this? I'm like, damn. I was just living my life, man.
I went to go cook some food.
Yeah.
I came back and all this shit happened.
A major problem though is because of the nature of my job. I can only look at my phone. I work 10 hours, 12 hours sometimes, right? So I can only look at my phone maybe 3 times during those 12 hours because of all the stuff we got to do. So that's really what it is.
Yeah, that makes sense. Obviously, my job is different. I can be on social media all day.
Well, and not only that, I don't want to start a conversation with somebody, right? Or start a topic, and then I get back with you 8 hours later. Yeah, so about that thing we was talking about.
That's the way of the world right now, though.
Yeah.
Everybody's at home.
Yeah, sad, man.
But
yeah.
So I want to talk about something. There's a bunch of things I want to talk about, but I want to start one thing off. So I want to get this because Doggy's the guy for this one.
Oh no.
So let's talk about Melty Blood.
Which one?
No, I'm not. Let me finish my sentence. Let me finish my sentence first. So, let's talk about Melty Blood. Circa 2022.
Circa 2022. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about Lumina. Now, Bates, did you play any Melty Blood like that before this one at all?
No, I only played the one before Lumina. I'm sorry, I can't even remember.
Well, according to PAINBOT, that
we're getting to you. We're gonna get to you. Don't worry.
All you want.
We're gonna get to your ass in a second.
I'm a guest on this show too.
I played. Was it Double A? Double
Current
AC
code.
gear. Yeah, current code. I played that one for. Only time I played it though was when I went to Georgia Tech, and they were hosting those sessions and stuff at
Them
Georgia Tech,
days.
and
Mhm.
they would like try to teach me the game a little bit, but I never really got into it. And then I played Lumina, and yeah, about Lumina. So what are you asking me about my
No, I was
opinion
just
on it?
asking if you had played it before, because
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
get everyone's. I'm first gonna get everyone's history on Melty Blood. So
Yeah, for sure. I only played it sometimes at Georgia Tech when I had to wait for my turn to play like Guilty Gear or Street Fighter Five casuals. I would just play it just because that's just what I do. I like to play the games while I wait for my turn. So
okay, so you don't have any you don't have any preconceptions to what Melty Blood needs to be or anything, right? So you just
no, I
you play
never got
Lumina with
that.
like this is I'm just playing Lumina, like this is how it is.
Yeah. I just play Lumina because it's a fighting game.
Okay,
I'm the guy that just will play a fighting game because it's a fighting game. I
so
don't care. You can ask me to play any fighting game, and I'll be like, okay, let's play. That's just how.
so coach, have you played Melty Blood? Any have you played any Melty Bloods before Type Lumina?
I did.
Did you play extensively?
I wouldn't say that.
Would you say like it's like Bates where you just play it like every now and then?
Like so we played it a bit over in Middle Georgia, Dogy, Black Star, and we played for a bit. That's when I played. It was a good
You
month or
got
so.
you gotta throw Kuja in there because we
Oh,
got some good clips.
oh yeah, we gotta throw all the Swaga Kuja's loved in there, but yeah, it was just like a month and just me dabbling in it. So like I know how the game basically functions, but I definitely am not well practiced in it or anything.
Okay, so you're not like a I sat down and played this game a lot guy. You're like I play with my friends, you know, time to time. That's the scenario for you.
Pretty
So
much.
Doggy,
I'm about to get framed. Here we go.
no.
I'm about to get framed.
So
Yeah,
Doggy,
yes, Painbot. What's
did
up?
you play a version of Melty Blood before Type Lumina?
A version of Melty Blood. Yes, I have.
Okay, so what version did you spend a lot of time on?
Oh, I can only pick one.
Yeah,
I don't get to
what
give the history.
okay, no. Okay, did you? You know what? Let's word this in a way that you can't like destroy.
I'll answer your question. You know I'm giving you crap, man.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
like, have I played before Type Lumina? Yes. Like, very briefly, I touched React. That's the second one. I really got quote unquote got into the series in at Cadenza, which is the third one. That was the first one that was in arcade. It was the first one that was easy to come across on the internet. That's the PC way to put it. And that's how I came across it in college. I'd come back home and play one of my local friends here, like anybody in the Georgia community knows, except for like 2 or 3 people. And we'd play it off and on, go back to college, wouldn't think anything of it, come back over a holiday, mess around with it a little bit here and there. Actress again, which was the next one afterwards, messed around with it some here and there. Played it enough to see what was up, but I can't sit here and say I extensively played it. I think there was a Georgia tournament on it at one of the ATL revivals. That was me, Malik, Milky J, and God, I can't think of the guy's name from Bama, but I can think of his face. Like, we had a 3-person tournament for that, and then the last one before Type Lumina, Current Code, played a decent amount of that as well. And when I say decent amount, you're gonna probably try to ask, well, were you a tournament player or anything? No, like, I honestly casually played it, but I played it enough to where if you look around, you would get the impression that I'm like an actual knowledgeable player because I'm in some resources and stuff. Or I actually did a guide for a character. I've been asked about a couple of characters for resources and stuff, but really and truly, I like the game, so I dabbled in it.
I've seen you in resources and stuff. That's why I had to ask you like that last time because I was like, I could have swore I saw your name on one of these things.
All right, so what you saw me in wasn't even a resource. It was a sick meme from my stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, do I have to explain it?
I mean, go ahead.
All right, so when I streamed, which was like many, many moons ago, pun slightly intended, I would just normally sit around in training mode, messing with stuff, talking to whoever. And one of my speedrun friends came in while I was practicing Melty Blood, and they asked me about the story of Melty Blood. I I don't it like even if I like the game, I don't ever keep up with that. I'm one of the people that I turn the game on. I just go to slap the buttons. I go to play friends. Back when I was entering tournaments, I'd go enter tournaments. If I need it for commentary, I do enough to just know how to talk about it, right? So I don't know the story. I don't know the context. I just made up a bunch of crap on the spot. It was loosely related to, or loosely in relationship to Tsukihime, the visual novel that it's based off of. But really, I was just spewing crap off the top of my head. Just having a good time. And then I threw it up on YouTube because it just happened to be there. And lo and behold, over the years, especially right before Type Lumina, apparently it was circulating everywhere. Because I've noticed that I think it's my second most popular video. It actually has more than like 5 views. I think it's somewhere in the thousands actually, but it's the point is like people got filtered into it because it's Melty Blood, but it's literally nothing about the game itself. It was just happened to be there shooting the breeze.
I remember reading the comments and then just people were like, yeah, pretty much. They were just like agreeing with your random nonsense. They're like, yes, pretty much how the story goes. I also remember seeing a video of you playing it though, like on YouTube. Not like of you, but I saw your name in a match. I could have sworn.
There have been like some clips, because again, like it's not like I've just sat and played in the shadows. I played like on stream a little bit with people, never in a tournament on stream, because again, I've only played one tournament, and that was the ACL Revival. But like, there have been some people that have been sitting around playing, and I'd go hang with them. You know, this really bizarre event that happens where somebody casually plays a fighting game. It's happened.
Okay.
Bizarre event. You're right. People do make it seem like it's bizarre.
Okay, so the whole reason I wanted to get everyone's like history on Melty Blood is I wanted to talk about Type Lumina. You know, mainly because I played the game. I never played like the older Melty Bloods. Really, I played once, and I think I tried it like 4 times. But you know, those attempts were maybe a day long at most because I just never really liked how the game felt in terms of like how to do combos and stuff. And so I went for
too
Type Lumina.
long for you.
No, it wasn't even long. I actually didn't even know the combos were long. What happened is that the combos, something about the way the hit stop works in that game, the sound effects was so unappealing to me that I just quit.
I can't play this game. It sounds weird.
It didn't sound. It was like it's because the way it hits, it's like whoosh, 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 and I'm like, I don't know, man. It feels like I'm like swatting a
Oh, man,
I don't know,
bug.
man.
That's my new one. Why don't you play this game, man? That game sound funny.
Yeah, it did. I didn't get no. Well, I mean, sometimes art direction is very important for a lot of people. You know, like even like
I guess.
I mean, I guess if you don't give a fuck, then I guess it doesn't matter to you. But some people like the sound effects in games can definitely decide the impact of how hard something hits, right? So let's just take for example, I don't know. I'll even use Street Fighter 5 in this. When you hit a crush counter combo, the explosion and the visual effect plus the sound really lets you know that this guy's fucked and he's about to get fucked, right? But when there's like a lack of impact in all moves in a fighting game, it don't feel as good to me sometimes. I like the hit stop. Like in Samurai Showdown, when you hit somebody with 5C, man, you know they got hit by 5C. Like the game stops, there's a devastating sound, and the life just disappears. That shit feels great.
You start wondering if your PS4 is actually dying.
Yeah, like did my shit crash? No, you got hit by 5C.
5 special and the screen starts shaking for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Man.
Like there's something to be said about art direction and like stuff like that. And Melty Blood, like the way that it was presented and how I played it, I didn't really feel good just to play. That's one of those rare occurrences where it was just like, this doesn't really feel satisfying to hit people. So I just don't really care for it. And I didn't hate the game the way it was designed in terms of like the fighting engine or nothing. I know nothing about anything. I just didn't really care for how the hits felt. So I was like, this doesn't really feel satisfying to beat somebody up in. But anyway, I played Type Lumina, and I played for about 2 weeks, I think, and I picked Miyako, and something about that, I kind of got the same feeling again, or playing the game wasn't really satisfying for me, so I kind of just stopped, and there was nothing wrong with the game, and to me, like, the way I looked at it, the way the rock, paper, scissors stuff worked, combos, stuff like that, the combos weren't that hard or anything, and I just they didn't feel satisfying to play. So I just stopped playing. So I just moved on to something else. Now, did you guys, like, Coach, did you try playing Type Lumina?
Wait, who did you ask?
Coach, I tried, yeah, I guess you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I bought it and messed around training mode, but at that point, well, I guess even kind of now, I wasn't really like playing people in games. They're just more like fun exercise and exploration.
So you were just trying stuff. So you didn't actually, like, buy the game to, like, I'm going to explore I'm going to see if I can get really gross at this game. You just bought it. You're like, let's see what this is about.
Pretty much.
All right. What about you, Dogi? Did you buy Type Lumina and try it out?
Of course.
All right. Well, how do you feel? Do you still play it, or did you stop? Or
Do I still play it? No. Why do I not play it? Partially because I'm in the same boat that Coach is in, which is a situation a lot of people is in. Because of where we are right now, it's quote unquote kind of hard to get motivated to play games, if you will. But really, I don't have a reason to play it. Like, for a lot of fighting games lately, I will typically get them if I need them for commentary. Like, if my friends are playing them, like my immediate group of friends are playing them, I'll play it as well. They're not, which is one reason why I haven't really latched on to the game. But the tournament series that I do commentary for, the handfuls of them, like, the net play experience for trying to host a tournament for Type Lumina has not been too great. So every one of them has dropped it. So as of right now, seeing as I don't have to go anywhere for a tournament, I don't need to know the game. So since there are other games that I actively play and grind, I gravitate more towards them. And when I look at Type Lumina and really a handful of other games that you're going to get to lately, you're going to hear the same thing where it's like, I mean, I could, but I don't really have a reason to. So I kind of don't right now.
All right. Well, you Bates. I mean, I know, but I still gotta get you to tell.
Yeah. I mean, I played the game. I played it online and stuff. I played the ring. I tried to grind it out. I started out with Coma. Didn't like Coma.
That's a Bates character.
Yeah, I didn't really.
That's a Bates character, yep. There are
And
two
believe it or
Bates
not-
characters in that game. That is one of them.
Oh, please don't tell me he's gonna guess the second one. And then after I stopped playing Coma, I switched over to Red Arc.
Yep. Those are some Bates characters.
Yeah. So I had a lot of fun with Red Arc, but after a while, the game became. I was doing okay, but then the game, I learned that I was gonna have to really indulge in the shield mechanic, and it's not even that. I think it's a bad. No, actually, Moondrive and the shield mechanic are like my two pet peeves with that game. But
They're
I
like the
don't
two
know.
things in the game.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, exactly. So when I learned that I was really gonna have to jump into those mechanics and really play around those mechanics, I realized I didn't really. It wasn't my cup of tea, right? I'm not gonna say if it's good or bad or not, because I'm not a big Melty Blood guy, and I don't know what the general consensus are on those. But the game felt like I was just kind of running around throwing out my EX moves, just get past like Basically, I felt like I was just working around everybody's EX moves, and then when you knock somebody down, the game starts, and you just kind of play. You play around those mechanics on people's wake ups, and that's how you do a bunch of call outs, and then that's how you win, right? So it just wasn't for me. But I had a good time playing it though. I did learn it. Like, learning the game was actually fun, and then I made it to like the intermediate skill level of the game, and I kind of like was turned off by it. So that's just how I went. And I still play it to this. Like, I don't get on that game and go, Melty Blood. But the sad part was like the online kind of like not. I think like when it came out, it wasn't working right. And then like they patched it again, and I couldn't find
One
any matches or some shit. It was weird. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
was it one of the one-sided rollback? I think that was the one that they talked about because you played it on PC, right?
Yeah, I played it on PC. Yeah.
I want to say that was the issue because I remember at launch, the big thing about it was everybody said that PS4 was unanimously better than PC. Most people still played it on PC anyways, and that was one of the things that had to get patched.
Right.
Or the net code had to get patched. Again, I can't like cite the specific reason, but I want to say that was the one-sided rollback game that has been
Okay.
patched.
In the last patch, that's what they did. The one that just recently happened. I think
Okay.
there was a network matchmaking issue as well on PC, so it may have been like multiple issues.
Yeah, bro, it was rough, and I knew it had to be something like that because I would be doing stuff, and it would be like my punishes were like so far off of like what it was just weird, and then my opponent looked like he was like untouched, and vice versa. Like I'd be playing, and I would feel like I'm playing at a good speed, and then my opponent looks just completely unsure of anything, right? So I don't know, but yeah, when the online started getting really shady, I got tired of waiting for matches just so I can get shielded out. So I just kind of like stopped playing again. But people would ask me to play from time to time, and for sure I played it, and I had a good time. I think that bothers me about when people talk about fighting games. I think people would tell you like all the bad things about fighting games, but you can still have fun. There are still fun things about them, right? So I don't
Yeah.
want it to sound like everything I don't want it to sound like, oh, I played Melty Blood. This is the thing I didn't like about it, and I didn't have fun with the game. Like, no, I definitely have fun with the game. There's some fun things about that game. The movement in Melty Blood is just so different. Like, it's like, man, trying to get the right jump arc based on how I want to approach and like trying to contest stuff in the air and where I should be putting my character was so weird to me. I was just like, it feels like I'm playing on ice skates, and sometimes my opponent, when they moved around, I had a hard time pinning where their character was going to be at, but I'm sure that was just because my lack of familiarity with the game. So, yeah, that's
And
where I stand with Melty.
talking
Yeah, I
about a game with about average ground mobility, but a bunch of different jumps, regular jump, double jump, super double jump, your air drifting as well. So yeah, air dashes also. One of the few games where if you jump and then air dash, you still have your double jump. That's not a really well. That's not an ArcSys thing. And when people talk about air dashing, they're usually talking about ArcSys or Marvel MVC. Yeah, so some things you kind of have to really wrap your head around when you're playing it.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
pop Moondrive with Miyako, you get to jump 3 times and dash. It's crazy.
Every character has that.
Yeah.
That's a system mechanic.
Oh, that's just there and everything. When I was
Yeah.
moving around with Miyako, I was just jumping around like crazy, and I noticed that other people weren't using like a triple jump and a dash. I just didn't know if that was just because my character had it, or they just didn't know.
Not every character gets an extra air action. Like Aoko already jumps 3 times naturally, so she gets 4 in Moondrive.
Nice. So she's just up there forever.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to play that character. I was thinking about playing that character.
I
Yeah,
still haven't actually turned the game on to try the 2 new characters, but I've heard that Alco is a lot of what people want for the state of the game right now.
Yeah, she looks like she has a bunch of things that I would want in a game like that. So when I looked at her, I was like, this is it. Like, this looks like some cool stuff. I wish I had it when the game got released, but it still looks really cool. But you know, they're free, so there's no if you're interested in playing those characters and you have Melty Blood, there it is, right? Like, you don't have to be like, well, dang, I don't want to buy a season pass to play such and such. Well, I mean, they're there. I don't know what that's the case for all the characters that are going to come out in the future, but you know, it's there. If that's the case for all the characters, that's crazy. I couldn't imagine them release like
Nobody knows that right now.
yeah. There's no they haven't said anything, right? So there's like no way to know if the next 3 characters they're going to put out are going to be free. That'd be crazy. But I only brought up Melty Blood because I don't really know the state of the the game outside, it just seems like it has less players now. But it's been like, I think like 2 months or like maybe a month. I think it's been like 2 months. When did it come out? Like November? October?
Shortly before Climax of Night.
Yeah.
Mm,
So that's about November, I think.
yeah, it's like 2 months.
You would
But-
think I would know this since I went, but well, you see, all time just runs together right now.
Yeah, it does feel that way. Even me, I lose track of time. But that game, it seemed like it dropped off a little bit, and I don't know if it was because of the net play issues or if people just weren't feeling it.
It's like just a combination of stuff, right? You got the initial issues where people couldn't have like mad matchmaking one side of rollback, and it could just be a niche game, and the people who are gonna like it are gonna like it.
Yep.
That's actually like when you gave us the topics for this, I kind of figured this is how you were gonna approach Melty and the state of the game, and yeah, like because of the issues, the game is quote unquote not as big as it could be, but I realistically think it's about the size of what you would expect the game to be, because it's a game that nobody was expecting. The developers like literally surprised the world with it, with the announcement of it, and the fact that it's not so much that we're planning this game. It is coming out soon, right?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, they just released it straight up.
it was in summer that the magazine article came out sometime in summer. It's like, yeah, at the end of the year, you're gonna have Melty Blood. Here it is.
They were like,
Hasn't really fallen in line with what everybody else is doing lately with like beta tests or anything. Just push the game out. So yeah, some people who are interested were trying to tap into current code, which to get the full experience of current code that people want right now isn't as simple as just go get the game on Steam, right?
yeah.
So
Right.
it's kind of chopping some people off right there. And if your influencers are or aren't talking about the game, which because for whatever reason you want to pick, not all of them are really on board with it leading up to it, you're just starting to kind of put the game behind before it even gets out. Like I know I'll stop making it sound like it was shafted before it came out, but realistically, it's more of it wasn't supposed to be like the next big game, right? It's not supposed to be your next main event game. It's going to be for some people. It's going to be at like a specialized event, but it's not supposed to be the blockbuster that's topping all the charts, changing the outlook in the scope of the FGC. It's like it's a new fighting game that's out. You may have heard of it, you might not have.
Yeah, it's pretty much the state of that because it got no advertising for the most part. They dumped all the trailers like every single like day, I guess. Go late, like they let like once a week or every day. I can't remember what it was. They dropped cans of trailers really soon to the release, and then we got the game. So there was like no build up. It was like, by the way, there's Melty Blood. I'm like, what the hell? All right, and it's also
finally did it.
it's like, well, all right, and then it's like, and it's coming out in 4 months. Okay, whoa.
Oh my god!
4 months? It's done?
I more or less agree with Dogi's saying. Is it's like it came across as like you like Melty Blood, you like Tsukihime. Well, here you go. The people who already played those games, they're already they already in the know. They know where to look and they know what's coming for them. But yeah, it wasn't pushed out as a you never played Melty Blood. Well, here you go. It's like you wanted the new Melty Blood. Here it is. That's how it is. That's how it came across anyway.
Well, the good news is no matter how it came off no matter how it was delivered, it at least had the basis for rollback netcode, so they could even if the player base dwindled less than they wanted to, they can still play each other. Because that's the main concern when I see fighting games these days. Is not that I don't really care how small the community can get. It's more like, can they play each other reasonably? That's more my main thing, because it doesn't matter if you have 30 people in a community that plays the fighting game in the entirety of the United States, and they all love it, and they don't really have any like aspirations of making the game like a big pro tour. They can have a world tour or something. They just want to play the game. If they can't even do that, then they're just 30 people on the other side of the planet, right? So they have to struggle to deal with whatever netcode they got. But so long as this new, since Melty Blood Type Lumina has rollback netcode, and hopefully it's been taken care of to the point that it's going to be working fine now, they're fine. They're the people who enjoy the game can enjoy the game. And
Yeah,
that's how it is.
that's the weird obsession a lot of people have. Like, if it's not the next big thing, it's just a flop, or well, how many people are playing it now? And then people get too obsessed with that. It's just like, here's a game that some people want to play, and just leave it at that. Because no matter what you say about MVCI, like, once everyone stopped whining and all the dust settled, the people who care about the game can turn it on and run their tournament circuits and whatever to this day, and they're still doing it.
Yeah, I mean they're not held back by something awful.
Yeah,
Like,
once the mass exodus happens, they're still able to enjoy the game to the fullest capacity.
You mean when everybody got their Easter egg stones?
yeah, when the Easter egg stones were handed out and done, that was the end of that.
Put a quarter in the gumball machine.
Nice, the Infinity Stone. That was awful. What a horrible
Take over the world.
how did Capcom's like you look at Street Fighter V's like cup, and then you look at that side by side, same company, and you're wondering how did we get here? Like, how did we get here? How did one person decide this is okay for Marvel, and then the other side was like, let's just have a regular tournament? Like, what the hell? Like, how did this happen?
They saw what people were playing at the time, and they made that decision.
So you're mistaken what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the pre-order bonus.
Oh, you're talking about pre-order bonuses.
Where they like those gumball
Yeah,
machines.
they're like the Infinity eggs.
Yeah, and then, but they advertised to look like they were actually like
Gems.
some kind
They
of
were like cut
gems.
gems, and then when they got them, they're like eggs. They're like the eggs that you Easter egg hunt with. And
I actually forgot about those.
Could you actually even remove them from the box? I can't even remember if you could.
I can't remember, but they look like a little like cheap plastic things you got the gumball machine.
Yeah. It was like $100 extra for like Easter eggs. This shit was nuts, man. Capcom is like on thin ice for me. They're lucky they got Monster Hunter. They are just the worst when it comes to like fighting games to me at this point. The way they handle things are just awful.
That's what a lot of people will say. Like, Capcom, outside of fighting games, firing all cylinders, doing great. You can't take that away from it. Even if you don't play the game. Like, I'm somebody who doesn't play anything else that Capcom has. I'm not a Resident Evil fan. You can't ask me to play Monster Hunter. But I also can't sit here and deny that those series are doing well. Now, fighting games? I mean, Street Fighter is like floating now, but the whole genre from them, yeah, it's very questionable.
Yeah,
very questionable.
Then
everyone was looking excited because Ono's gone, but I guess we don't want to get too off track, but I just want to point that out.
I mean, we can't all be what the hell is the name of that game I was playing on the Dreamcast?
Techromancer?
Yeah, we can't all be Techromancer players.
Yo, word.
Living good on the rollback.
that game has rollback now.
Yeah, that game's got rollback.
Yeah.
Man, what a game! I can't even figure out. There's no training mode for that game either. You just got to get in there.
The classic.
Woo.
Sometimes I wonder if, like, Capcom had a choice to just start over a new fighting game franchise, because I feel like they're locked in the only fighting game they can really like sell as their flagship fighting game would have to be the Street Fighter series. Like, I wonder if they could like get another fighting game off with like their own original character designs and stuff. Yeah, I know, man.
Okay. Hold on. Could they get another fighting game off with their own set of characters? Do you remember not the last character that was in Street Fighter V, but the second to last character that was in Street Fighter V? Can you tell me this character's name?
Second to last?
The second to last character that has come out for Street Fighter V.
And then there was it Dan or was there a character after Dan?
Akira.
Akira.
What game is Akira from? Because she is not a Street Fighter character, and she is
Rival
not
Schools. She's from Rival Schools, yeah.
Can Capcom make another? Capcom has so many fighting games.
The reason I say that is because I feel like the reason I said what I said was because the thing with Capcom, it seems like they're locked So okay, here's the problem, right? Whenever you come out with a new fighting game with an IP like Capcom, you're gonna get you got to bring these characters back, right? You're gonna
Right.
just get that shit, right?
Mm,
There's no other way around it, right? So when you bring characters back, you're gonna get what happened with Street Fighter Five. How come Balrog ain't got no headbutt? I'm gonna call myself out. I'm gonna be like, yo, man, this ain't Balrog. He ain't got a fucking headbutt,
he
right?
got a headbutt.
Yeah, the V reversal. Yeah, okay.
He got
We
it. Keep
moving
going.
on.
Keep it. Keep
Moving
going.
on. But you can't please. You're not gonna be able to please everybody from previous iterations. Because the one thing I like about Capcom is they're willing to start from scratch with like game mechanics. They'll do something new every time, right? And whether people like it or not, but it's always gonna have that. Well, you're always gonna get those people. Well, this ain't Street Fighter because of this. This ain't Street Fighter because of this, right?
Right?
So I always wonder if they even, because sometimes I feel like they just want to drop that franchise, bro.
They might.
They
Yeah,
probably do.
I feel like they want to just drop it, right? Or maybe they just want to drop fighting games altogether.
Yeah, that's
But
probably a more accurate way of putting it, actually.
they just want to drop fighting games altogether.
Yeah.
That's sad, man.
They're
'Cause
Achilles heel right
they're
now.
doing so well with everything else. I just wonder if they could just start from scratch with a whole new design for whatever fighting game they want and make that work, right? But you're right because
I-
yeah, go ahead.
I there's no telling, and the reason why there's no telling is they're not gonna try. Like,
Yeah.
could you really say yay or nay either way? Who knows? Like, they would have to be willing to take the risk. And yeah, if the next big game that they try to push is not Street Fighter, some people are gonna say, "Why is it not Street Fighter?" But
I know.
how big is the game going to be? Nobody knows, because that is a concept that none of the big companies, well, I cannot say none of the big companies are willing to take, because there's actually been one of the big companies that has taken that risk. Well, two of them, really. I guess Capcom's the only one that hasn't done it as of late when I think about it. But when you talk about like this recent era, like past Street Fighter 4, there have been, I can easily say, no, I say two at this point. There have been two companies after Street Fighter 4 that has come out with a new series with a new set of characters. All right. NRS, we knew them. I mean, they were midway in the beginning, but they're the company for Mortal Kombat. They had Injustice. Okay. What's the other one? Arxis, that we like to talk about because they're the next big thing to look at. We knew them for Guilty Gear coming up. They have Blazblue. So could Capcom pull one of their other IPs and use that, or come up with a completely new IP? I mean, some people have tried it. Depends on where you want to put the success, yeah or nay, if it works, but we don't know for sure because Capcom hasn't tried it yet. Not recently.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like what Bates you're saying is not a Capcom problem, but it's overall. These companies, especially like the big Japanese devs, they all like funnel their teams to push these franchises they know will sell, like Resident Evil, Monster Hunter, and then Street Fighter, right?
Mhm.
But they got like hundreds of other IPs out there from the 90s and early 2000s, right? That you'll never see again. It don't matter if it's the fighting game genre. Konami's the same. All these companies are starting to do that where they're pushing a lot of their resources into just pushing one franchise, these 2 or 3 big franchises that they know are like global sellers. You don't have like the weird visionaries like, you know what? I want to make a fighting game with these weird monsters in it. And then you got vampire. That person don't exist no more. It's like, hey, Bait,
Yeah.
you're now in charge of the Street Fighter franchise. We're gonna keep that going. And when you're ready to make the next game, let me know. And we'll get your resources set away, buddy. That's how it is. It's not like, hey, Bates, what you got on your mind? It's like you're in charge of the Street Fighter team. PAINBOT, you're in charge of the Resident Evil team. Dogi, you're in charge of the Monster Hunter team. That's how that works, right?
Can I have Devil May Cry? We haven't mentioned that one yet.
Yeah, that's also
Yeah.
in there, right? But yeah, it's like all these franchises kind of got reduced down to the most popular ones that'll probably sell on a global level nowadays. Like there's obviously like the little exceptions here and there, but that's generally how you're seeing things. So it's like they can make a Street Fighter. Like I keep saying this, but I think SNK making Samurai Showdown was basically a miracle because I thought they were just gonna make KOF games forever.
It was.
I thought they were done with all their franchises beside KOF as far as fighting games go. But
I mean,
that
I
surprised me.
would just like, and it, you know what? Maybe they don't make a new IP, right? Maybe they just go ahead and reuse characters from games that aren't gonna get remade or something. Like,
Yeah.
there's no reason they can't do a BB tag kind of deal where it's like, oh, they're fine, because it's like
I mean,
it's like wasted money to me. Like, people
Street
love
Fighter
these
5 is
characters.
basically that already, though, right? Well, so it's on the
It's getting
cusp
there.
of that.
It's getting there.
It's like a
but-
preview of what's next. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, I just, and here's the thing, right? The problem is like you don't know what their goals are, right? Maybe they are making this next Street Fighter. If they are making a Street Fighter 6 to be the last hoorah, maybe they want it to be esports only, right? Because to me, I think it's easy. You make a free to play fighting game. You do the Killer Instinct. You make a free to play fighting game. It don't have to be locked to a certain console, right? And you let people play it, and you just add characters to it from your IP or whatever you own, right? You own, and then you just change it and let people try it, and it'll build a community off of that. But everybody seems to. It just seems like they're making it hard, man. Making it hard.
Let me throw a curveball at you because you've fallen into what I'm kind of calling the trap that's been happening with Street Fighter. You said Street Fighter 6, right?
If there is one, yeah.
No, they have said in their development, because that's one of the surprising things that's happened since their management has changed, that they've been doing the development streams and letting people know what's happening right behind the scenes when they're building stuff up. In the last one they did, when they were talking about Luke and they were doing the overview of Luke, they frequently mentioned that Luke is a glimpse of what's going to happen in their next project, right?
The next Street Fighter project.
Too, because it's funny. It's funny too. Not to cut you off, but they did the same thing with 4. Like when they had Omega mode, right? And they're like, "Yeah, we're experimenting." But
here's the thing I'm getting at. You said Street Fighter 6. Where in anything that they have officially said have they said Street Fighter 6?
Nowhere, not at all.
So even for what you're asking, getting back to your question, who knows? This could be it. Nah, I mean the easy thing is to assume it's going to be Street Fighter 6, but what if it's like Street Fighter versus Capcom, something crazy like that?
Whatever. Yeah, I think what they're gonna do is like, because they were kind of doing it already, right? Where they're putting all these characters and references, but I'm thinking like you're gonna see like vampire characters in there and stuff, and they'll call it Street Fighter, maybe not 6, but like Street Fighter Universe or some crap like that, and then you'll just have characters from these regular games in there, and they'll be considered Street Fighter characters going forward. So you won't get another vampire savior, but you'll get those components in a new game.
Street Fighter Jam. Here's something else to point out with that. Again, with Akira, you'll notice that they went far out of their way to include the mechanic from her game, the flagship mechanic from her game. Kind of interestingly, you can say they're beta testing it with the Street Fighter 5 engine. Yeah?
Well, it kind of feels like.
What? What could they be doing with that? Only the future could tell.
CVS 3, baby, here we go.
Well, we're probably gonna see sometimes at the end of the year when they do the next whatever substitute they're gonna do for the CPT now that it's canceled. But I imagine that's what they were gonna do, is like, here's your first sneak peek at the next Street Fighter project. That term is so ambiguous, but
I mean, if I have to look at the market, the things that have been working is rollback netcode. I think the free to play model. Honestly, if Project L comes out and it's free to play, you can't not have your new fighting games be free to play anymore, because you're gonna have to compete with that. That's the way I see it. And then not only that, it's work. The free to play model, maybe not with fighting games, but it's just there. It's like a good model, like hands down. And then they said they wanted to use Street Fighter 5 as an experiment for continued content for fighting games, right? So they were really big on like more content for the game, right? So, like you said, man, I just think it would be great if they had like a fighting game that they could use all their IPs for, free to play model, and and I guess I went the route of a new kind of thing because I really get tired of the cycle of this is a new Street Fighter or whatever fighting game. It's not like the old one but they're bringing those characters back and everybody get mad that they don't play like that. It's just really frustrating. It's really
Well,
frustrating.
I mean that's been true since Street Fighter One, man.
Yeah, I know. I know.
It's not gonna stop anytime soon. But
Dang, they was doing that in ST too. That's crazy.
I mean, like you look at it like, why is there an Osa guy and a Nusa guy? No one's picking Nusa guy.
Yeah.
He's just
Like-
not good. He's not as good.
Yeah, you're not gonna pick. Yeah, it's like, and if you imagine like when Super came out and they got that Nusa guy, and they were like, "What is this?" They probably will act the same way we do now. Like, what is this? Why can't he do this? Where's the invincibility on that? Why is the zoning is good? And then they get ST with the old characters and I can just pick them now. So it's like it's a tale as old as time. So you can't really avoid it.
To be fair, old Sagat cannot take throws, and he doesn't have a super. He doesn't have a super.
Can you get in his throw range?
He doesn't. He also. Like, I'm not done here. He can't take throws, and he doesn't have a super meter.
All right.
So having two mechanics locked out is kind of crazy, even in old standards. Luckily, old Sagat is so strong that it doesn't matter.
So you can't check throws. Can you throw it?
Yeah, like you ain't gonna get that close. He's lucky because there's a lot of old versions of characters in that game that are not better than super variants, right? So it's just in Sagat's case because you're not gonna pick old Vega, right? So
Nah.
in just Sagat's particular case, the new mechanics are not stronger than his old self. So you just pick old Sagat. I thought that was neat. Like I'm like, wow. They nerfed him, but he can't take throws, and he doesn't have a whole bar that everyone else gets. But he's so damn strong that you still don't want to use the new one. But he still ain't shit compared to Dawson and fucking Vega. They're still better than him. But if you had to choose between a version that gets to tech throws and then like have a super bar, but he can't zone like he used to, but the old one can zone like a beast, you just pick the one that can zone like a beast. Especially in that game where you can land two fireballs and stun somebody, right?
Super meter is a social construct.
Yeah, man, who needs that stupid ass super meter anyway? My fucking fireball's a super, and it's got no meter. That's how I used to feel about it when I played Ultimate.
Just look at this maniac. Right
I fucking love that character, man.
Menace to society.
We only talk. It's funny because I didn't even want to talk about Street Fighter today. But the thing is that here's the thing: everyone in this podcast, or even people I know, most people I know, have some kind of like Street Fighter game they really like. And they probably are all disappointed in Capcom unless they're like a shill. So if you're like a hardcore shill, I'm not gonna. Obviously, you're gonna just suck their dick anyway.
So,
Dang.
truth be told, and I've said this throughout all of Street Fighter V. Truth be told, I've never really had a problem with Street Fighter V. I'm not gonna sit here and say it was always a great game or always a good game because it's not. But in the beginning, the only reason why I didn't play Street Fighter V was there wasn't a character that I liked in the beginning. And the only two characters that the only two characters that I have wanted to play that anybody has ever seen me play have been Guile and Sakura. They're both DLC. I wholeheartedly believed if one of those characters was a release character, I probably would have tried the game a decent bit throughout the entire time.
Well, I mean, if you don't mind the gameplay, you're just gonna be neutral on it, right? But even honestly, my biggest beef with the game is mostly how poorly the game functions as a fighting game. And then on top of that, I don't like the game, so it's exacerbated by the fact I don't like it. But the fact that the shit was so garbage when it came out also pissed me off.
You know what, man? I'm sorry. Garbage in the way that actually, when the game first came out, you can ask a lot of people. The gameplay was fine. Actually, the sentiment was, man, the gameplay is good. It's just the overall game feels like it's still in beta, right? And I think around season 2 is when season 2 and KOF 14 came out. That's when Street Fighter V was taking a lot of heat. because everybody was like, I'm just gonna go play KOF 14. And I hate this game. And then everybody was switching over to Tekken and all that stuff. So yeah, man. It's yeah, Street Fighter 5 has been on a rocky. Like if Street Fighter 5 released today, like if had released in 2016 how it is today, it would have been touted as one of really like one of the best fighting games. But it didn't. So everybody's still salty about that, you know.
I mean, that's how most fighting games are. Because most people don't hold up Street Fighter 3 for new generation. Like, yo, finally, you know, most people they almost always talk about the last finished product, even in the older games.
Yeah. Well, people still not talking about Street Fighter 5 finished product like it's.
I mean, it ain't finished its lifespan quite yet.
No, they better murder it in its fucking sleep like they did Street Fighter 4, because I won't accept any less.
Hey man, you didn't have to stop playing it.
No. It's not the same thing. I did stop.
Evo said we had to stop playing it. They didn't have it there. Everybody decided to stop playing.
Because Evo says it doesn't mean you had to stop, man.
That,
You really want to go out there and hang with Elena? She's still out there.
Hey man,
That's how they murdered the game, man. Not only did they made the
Evo
worst version,
didn't run it. It was
left it
dead.
that way.
If Evo didn't run it, it was dead. That's the consensus back then. I don't agree with that at all by any means.
Well,
It's kind of like esports started really hitting hard, and social media and content creation and all that shit started hitting really hard when that fucking when Street Fighter 5 came out, and it was kind of like we ain't got time for anything other than this stuff. So
wait. So if all of this was all social media, how did you hear about it?
I be creeping.
Uh-huh.
I don't be
probably-
posting.
You
I
probably,
be creeping.
you probably have not hit double-digit tweets since Street Fighter 5 is released.
Damn.
What? Damn.
Well,
That's not my New
speaking
Year's resolution.
of esports, did anybody watch Arc Revo's the tournament for Guilty Gear this weekend?
I have not.
I
watched
caught
the,
some
US
matches.
Yeah, it was it Hotashi versus the it wasn't Punk. It was the person who beat Punk.
Well, I thought there was one this weekend for Canada, I think.
Yeah. Canada was this week. I think last week it was US qualifier, so they're still doing those.
I was watching the game and man, it's just devastating. Like watch that game is devastating. It's just like I just see people almost
This
win.
is coming from a Sam Show player.
Yeah, I know that game.
coming
You
from
know
a
what the
Sam
difference is
Show
though?
player.
It's because when so in Samurai Showdown, if I'm gonna take my win back, every move I made to take my win back is probably gonna be punishable by death. But in Guilty Gear, when someone like let's just say you corner somebody, and they slip out, and then now you're in the corner, they're about to bombard you with a bunch of safe bullshit, and then if they touch you, they win, and then the whole tide is turned. I saw so many chokes this tournament where people were winning, and then the other guy like counter, and then that's it. Like the guy turned the whole match around, one counter hit, corner carry, wall break, one more move dead. Like that game is savage as hell. It almost reminds me. It reminds me of what I want Street Fighter 5 to be, because I prefer like the characters being like full grossness all times, as opposed to having the characters hit strengths hidden away for a comeback factor. Guilty Gear Strive is like if they had comeback factor, but the comeback factor is just your character is just fucking devastating in all moments. So you're gonna die.
Let's be real about something. You want Street Fighter to be more like Strive, so that you don't have to spend more than 15 minutes in training mode.
Boy,
Learning a combo.
in Street Fighter 5?
Learning a combo. I'm making jabs at you.
Are you jabbing at me? Man, the
got a
combos
point, though.
in Strive are not like the character I played anyway. They're not that hard. Like both of the ones. I feel bad for Bates. Bates character is hard.
That was my point.
That's his point.
Well,
yeah,
well, Street Fighter 5 combos are easy as fuck too.
I mean,
Wait.
we're not going to talk about V-Trigger one at Monodigan, but that is my point. The joke was that you want the combos to be easy. That flew straight over your head.
Well,
that's
good.
was crazy.
Do you want me?
It was
Do you just
crazy.
want me to pop off right now? Because I'm about to pop off.
Oh no.
Dude, this is the
I mean,
Painbot
Painbot, look,
podcast.
bro,
That's what
look,
we're
man,
here
you
for.
getting what you want, man. You know, look, man, Stripe got everything you want, bro. Roll back neck coat.
Yup.
Shitty lobby.
Characters. Thick characters. Amazing soundtrack. Beautiful design and artwork.
The good sound effects
characters
that you
with
get hit.
easy combos.
Oh,
Combos are really easy. Great, different play
Are
styles.
they easy? How's the Happy Chaos coming along?
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
I thought you said the combos are
Stuff.
easy.
Look, man, don't make me. Look, my Happy Chaos is getting nice. Leave me alone. And
I've never. You know what's
Look,
funny?
man.
For anyone listening, this is the first. This is really like the first time I see base try a character that isn't a base character, and man, this guy. It's like I'm watching him try to learn fighting games again. Like it's crazy.
that's the appeal for me, though, right? Like me playing Relius and Blazblue and playing Happy Chaos. I mean, those characters are characters I don't normally play, and I'm not really competing offline right now. So to me, it's fun. Like it's fun to try these different characters. Kind of like how every grapplers, people who play grapplers or main grapplers will eventually try a zoning character just to see the other side, right? So that's what I'm doing. It's fun though. It's fun. But damn, Happy Chaos is a rough path, man. That's whew.
I mean, truth be told, like even if you're trying to put it on the spectrum of like grappler, neutral, zoning character, Happy Chaos is a pretty unique concept of a character.
Yeah, he is. That's what drove me to him. And I watched the story mode too, and I was like, this guy, this
What?
character's sick. What? That I actually watched the story mode? Yeah, nobody watched the Guilty Gear story, but I watched the Guilty Gear story mode.
I honestly wouldn't say nobody. I would say a lot of people did.
Oh,
Really?
do they? Because the people I talk to act like they can't go watch. It's too much of a hassle to go watch it.
So I mean, if you just talk about in general, if you ask somebody if they've ever paid attention to the lore of their fighting game, they're going to tell you no. But like, if you are trying to see which games have the most people who like sat through it, it's going to be like Guilty Gear, Blazblue. That's why if you remember when the games first released, or like when they're close to release, they're banning people from streaming or recording the story mode because they know people are interested in it.
Yeah, that is true.
Mm.
This is true.
Anyway,
That's one of. Keep going.
the Strive. I was watching the tournament, and I don't play it really. I think I turn it on like once in a while just to play with Bates, just to see. But watching it, I can't help but feel that's what 5 should have probably been, like gameplay wise, in terms of like how the damage worked out. Because 5's damage output is really high, but only when you're trying to like after you lose. And the way the tide of battle goes around, it looks just like 5, but instead of like you having to lose first to get to that point, you just snowball out the gate. So to me, it's more appealing visually than I don't like playing it, but I like watching. I think I discovered this week I like watching people die instantly.
Yeah, I was about to say
For
you're just a
some
violent
bullshit.
person. You're a violent person that likes to watch everybody's misfortune and shortcomings.
Yeah, so it worked out for me. I'm like,
So you're watching Guilty Gear like how I watch Street Fighter 5. Because I used to watch Street Fighter 5 like that. Man, I ain't gonna lie. When I quit that game, it was refreshing to watch people get yoked up by Abigail. I can't lie. Like when Abigail was going ham, I used to like watching that shit. You guys paintball, I didn't like fighting them. But damn, watching people get cheesed out by Abigail, that was fun. That was fun. Oh, and Balrog's turn punch, music to my ears, boy. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
it was
Y'all
too
like
beautiful. They had to get rid of
mean-spirited
it.
So when mean spirited, I mean, you just want to watch the world burn, right? It's just one of those things. Like it was entertaining. Like I was talking about earlier with entertainment. It's like what's more entertainment? Watching Street Fighter Cross Tekken time overs, or just watching people explode because of one easy V trigger activation. You know what I mean? Like it's fun. And also it gives the viewer like something to it's like the shock value, right? It's like, oh snap, he's dead. How many times are you like if you go to an offline event, somebody like, is he dead? And everybody starts paying attention even more to see if that person's gonna die. Like that's fun. So,
I like
that's
watching
me.
people lose.
I'm a spectator too, man. I love watching fighting games. I can watch any fighting game and find it entertaining. There's like very few fighting games where I can't find entertainment in watching it. So
Yeah,
Man, I
actually,
can't-
same. It's not really that many. Like, I can watch Marvel 3. I don't even want to play Marvel 3, but I can watch it and just
I think
laugh.
you have a sick Magneto, man.
My Magneto's gross. My Magneto's gross.
Nope, can't give you that.
It's one button. The combo's one button.
No, but it.
It's heavy 17 times.
You have to get in the flight. Nah,
I got those. I got those.
You ain't got that.
I know more.
You play Hulk. You play.
No, I play Sentinel. If you were talking about easy ass combo to death, X Factor level 3. Heavy fucking launcher, button, knockdown, rocket punch, dead. That was like the money maker for me. That was my money maker right there. Anchor Sentinel. Like, well, I gotta win. Fucking kick.
That's hard drive.
Hard drive. Oh man, that was also the best part. Was that when someone was trying to like okie me in the corner on incoming, I just fucking raw hard drive out X Factor. I was terrible at that game though. I couldn't play like almost anybody because same shit. Sucker combos. I just literally was limited to like a handful of characters. The only reason I could play Magneto is because his combos actually just like launcher, 2 buttons, and then a bunch of heavies, and then hypergrab just over and over again. It's just easy to remember. It's like 17 heavies in a hypergrab.
This guy.
But yeah, man, like spectator sport wise, I think Strive is a good spectator fighting game. Like I like watching it. I like watching it. I didn't really care. I actually had not watched it competitively since the game came out. I just didn't really care for the game. But when I watched it this weekend, I was like, damn, this shit's fucked up. And I think I like watching how fucking shitty people get fucking dunked on for missing a jab.
Didn't impress it.
Yeah, my favorite one was the one guy with the super, I think. And I think the other guy like tried to punish it, and then he just did another super and killed him. I was like, damn, this fucking sucks. Just laugh at the other people. I'm like, well, that's it. He's not top 8 or some shit. I can't remember what. It was like pools. Like I guess he's stuck in pools because he got double super back to back.
Should have punished.
But have y'all played Strive that much at all? How about you, Coach? You play Strive? I know.
One of those games I turn on like once a month. I might like if Swagger and Blackstar are playing every once in a while, or I like jump on the tower for a couple hours. That's pretty much it.
Honestly,
just to kind of keep it fresh. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, do you have a problem with like? I mean, you said jump on the tower, like that. You played Exar a lot, so that system in place now. What would you prefer more, the Exar lobby system or this?
I definitely do not prefer this one, just mainly because I can't. I don't know what people's connections are. I don't know what's going on. It's going to constantly disconnecting me and stuff like that. So that's the only reason I don't play it that much. Is because when I jump on there, I don't know if someone's playing Wi-Fi. I don't know if the game's gonna disconnect me 10 times before I get a match. And I was like, that's the actual thing about the game that annoys me, and the reason why I don't turn it on. Otherwise, I'd probably play it a good bit.
I actually have a friend that he plays
Proud
the game.
Of you, congrats.
And you know what? You guys just don't let me finish. You just don't let me finish.
You're supposed to just keep going anyways.
I just pause because I'm gathering my thoughts because I have moderate intelligence.
You said it, not me.
But I got a friend who he doesn't play Strive very often, but he does play Strive, and he really likes Gold Lewis and Pot. And the thing is with him is that his experience online is just trash. Because people can actually just scout his character out and then avoid him.
So that's kind of funny because I've definitely seen that on both sides actually, where people go, "Oh man, people are ducking my character." I also see that I don't want to play this character, so when I see him on the board, I just move on.
It happens,
people
man.
People have always been like that, but the game kind of streamlines it for you. It's not like Street Fighter 4 where you had to, play that character that you didn't like. And then you had to remember their name because people always did it. But
well, not only that, you didn't have to see it happen live. It'd just be like
you don't have to experience the misery.
Yeah, at all. It would just be like the prompt shows up. It'd be like connecting up, and your names look, and you'll look at each other's stats, and it'd be like players disconnected. And Strive, you gotta go to that book, sit there, watch somebody walk up to you, and go, nah, I'm good, and walk away, jump on the next book. Sometimes they'll just sit on the next book right next to you. I'll get off my book, walk over to him. Maybe the connection's laggy in the thing. He clicked on the wrong book. Let me walk over there. Walk over there. You click on that shit. He jumps off the book and goes up to the next level. It's like, yo, man. It's like I'm trying to. It's like you're trying to hit on chicks, and she just like, you good. And you're like, what? It's like you just
and then she just gets up. Don't say anything. Don't look at you. Just gets up and goes to another table.
Yeah.
You're like, damn.
Hey.
I feel like, damn, that hurt. What did I do?
I gotta mess with him.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be so bad if it was just like the park session where you just play casually, right? But if you're gonna make a substitute for rank any kind, you know that's where it's bad for me. Like if I'm in the casual section and somebody want to avoid the character I'm playing, okay, it's whatever. But like you shouldn't be able to pick and choose your characters for like a ranking or anything like that. And I think that's where that design really went wrong. On top of all the other stuff.
Yup.
That shit's so funny. It really is funny because I've seen it. I didn't believe him because I know in 4. I played a lot of shitty characters, and I played really a bunch of good characters, right? But my thing was I played almost every character in the game in 4. So no one would deliberately avoid me because they didn't know what the fuck I was going to pick. Because I would just pick anything. That game, I've watched my friends stream it. I saw people for almost 30 minutes straight walk up to his book, read the book, and then walk away. I'm like, damn, it's been 30 minutes? He's like, man, no one wants to play my character. I'm like, well...
You can't trick anybody, you know. Like it's just like Xrd is the same way, right? When you sit at the cab, it has your character above your head, so you can't really trick anybody. It doesn't take you to character select for some reason. And I guess it's because they want it to, you know, make it easier for programming or something. But yeah, like it should just go. In Street Fighter V's defense, you know, you go into a ranked match, you know, you got the character select. Or no, does the Street Fighter still do the thing where you pick your character beforehand?
Yeah, you pick a. Well, the way it works is if you sit in train mode, you already have your character locked in. It's your favorite character, and when the match queues, all it does is show you a bar. It don't show you who you're playing against or nothing. So then you press OK after you decide the bars are enough, even though those bars are a lie. And then you go in, and then it shows you on the loading screen who you picking. And then
that's right.
You just pick
because if you're watching the Street Fighter stream, really common thing, like sitting down with anybody, they're going through whatever in training mode, like PAINBOT said. Then they queue into the match. Like, they're gonna accept the match. They queue into the match. They see the character. They're like, "Oh, it's this character. I think it's X, Y, or Z person." Or they might know who it is if it's the color, right? And then you get to see the names after you pick the V trigger. It's like, "Oh, this is who it is."
Oh yeah, that's right.
You know, it's funny too because people will also dodge at that screen because they'll see. I don't want to play Geef and they'll just leave. But
yeah, that's true. But it's definitely better when when you go out and set up your booth, and you put out your Gold Lewis, you know, picture in front of it, and then you sit there and wait, and people just walk by and sneer.
Well, I mean, so in Street Fighter V's case, you lose points for ducking repeatedly, if I remember correctly. Or something. You get some kind of punishment.
No, they put you in a queue with like the people who have a high DNF rate, like you.
Yeah,
they still consider it a rage quit. It's Drive. You don't even have to engage.
Yeah, you don't have to even technically rage quit. You just visually quit. You just do the visual quit before the shit even queues, and so there's no punishment because technically you never queued the match. So you just fucking keep walking. It's like if you could actually it's like if you could pick and choose. It's almost absurd. It's like if you had like a tournament, right? Because rank technically is a tournament, and is based on elo. So whoever has the highest elo is the winner, essentially. And the way you get more elo is by beating people who are stronger. Because I remember correctly, like this is how like it worked in man, people are not gonna know what I'm talking about. So fucking in Vanilla Street Fighter 4, there's a championship mode. And
yeah.
Fucking, if you're watching. I'm old. So fucking championship mode had a really cool rank system where if you beat people, you would gain elo. And as you beat people, it would match you against other people who are in theoretical placements in tournament. So it was like a makeshift tournament that was happening live. It was kind of crazy. Like to me, it's a really good idea that never came back. That is the craziest shit. It never came back. They got rid of it and it never came back. Even though to me, it's one of the best things they've ever done. And so at the end of the match, at the end of the tournament line, you would face one really good guy, and then if you beat him, you get a fuckload of points, and then you would do it over again. So it was like a bunch of mini tournaments. It was a really great idea. I don't know if there's any footage out there of it because I don't know if not many people were recording and doing shit like that back then, but the actual tournament system was really cool. And so rank is technically the same idea, but it's not as quite as streamlined as that. But it's absurd to me that you can walk up to your opponent, say, I don't want that guy, and then like falsely raise your ranks amongst the tournament. Because all a tournament is to rank each other. So you're falsely raising your rank. It's like if you looked at the bracket and then told the fucking TO, nah, move me over here. And then that guy moved that guy over there. I don't want to play.
Depending on who you ask, that happens.
Yeah, it does happen. It does happen. Which pisses me off even more. But it's still stupid. It's not a legitimate ranking system. Obviously, their ranking system, the tower system, is also an illegitimate ranking system anyway. Because you don't even have to like climb to 10. You can just go straight to 10. So it's not like a true rank. But at the same time, they can't like Strive has a great looking game. Good game, like the gameplay is solid.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is good.
Debatable,
people like it. And then Arxis decided to sabotage the most basic shit, which is to make the online matchmaking have seamless transitions.
Well, to be fair though, they didn't decide to sabotage. I'm not trying to like defend them here, but the reason, because I don't want this to go understated. Like, I'm all for trying different things, right? They probably had this vision because people have visions of like what they think would be cool or like what would be engaging for people, right? So they had this idea and they probably really wanted to like get this idea off. It's just so poorly executed that it's like, geez. Why? Because it wouldn't be so egregious if they didn't do it okay a couple other times, right? But then they just fucked it up completely. It's so crazy. But like, I like that they tried the idea. Like, to be honest, I don't mind the whole avatar thing and all that stuff. But there's no way you didn't think that the whole tower system wouldn't be frustrating for people, and there's no way you didn't think a rematch button wasn't going to be required. Like, come on, bro, you can't be doing that.
Man, it works for me, man. That shit ain't kicking me out of heaven.
And
because I'm gonna pick them a good matchup.
Axel player that only fights off Enos.
They might have did it like they might have said, "Hey, man, the average player doesn't like having to play random. They want to see what character they got to fight so they can bail." They might have done that.
This will limit frustrations. They can just dodge their problems.
I think that concept isn't bad in itself. It's just it shouldn't be attached to ranked. Like, again, if you really hate fighting, Eno, and you down in the park, they let you avoid Eno to your heart's content. That's a $60 you spent. Enjoy your time. But if you go through ranked, you just you accept it as it is. But that's not how they designed it.
Yeah, they didn't really think they looked at this shit with like the most optimistic lenses. Like, they're not gonna just run from each other, are they? But you know what? Put a drop kick in there. Like, that's crazy.
Oh god. Oh man.
Damn.
Oh man, this is to me that's crazy. They have the time to add drop kicks, but they got time to think about people dodging each other.
If I would say, I would like them to redo the system, but like the actual thing they would willing to be changed, show me the connection of the person at the station, and don't let them see the character. That's it. Those are the only two things I would really change, like in the immediate. Like, I don't want if Wi-Fi person to come up to my station, I get a May player, and then they start jerking around.
Wi-Fi warrior.
And it's like I have no way of knowing at all. And that's more of a console problem, right? But still.
I had to tell a teacher like 2 weeks ago that Cat5 Ethernet doesn't cause packet loss. It was very devastating to my psyche
Dang.
to know that this guy's a teacher and he's just lying to people. Damn, that was rough. That was a rough day. I was just like, what are we teaching these kids? It was terrible. But, you know, Guilty Gear, it has the potential. I think if they make another Guilty Gear game like this one, and they add the Guilty Gear Plusinator 2, like, and they make that shit.
Excuse me, what is this game called again?
Plusinator.
Plusinator.
If they make Guilty Gear Plusinator, then
Hey, they go plussing it up again.
yeah, man, they make Guilty Gear Plusinator, and they fix these problems and add more characters. I think I'll look into the game really, because right now, even if I wanted to play it, that online stuff sounds so frustrating. Whew. That's
just weird for me because like I think the game's pretty fine and I enjoyed it when I play it, but it's like I don't want to jump through hoops. So and it has like you know the online and all that stuff is really good when you actually do the match. I can't
yeah, it feels great. It's not like the game is unplayable, right? It's just like the circumstances in which you play are awful. So
especially when you have to wait 10 minutes to get into the fucking game. Oh my god!
I was about to say, of everything that's been said so far, we have not made the original reason why so many people didn't play the game.
Let's get
connecting to serving.
Let's get one fucking thing straight. That shit's fucking bullshit. But not only that, let's get another fucking thing straight. South America has not been able to play the game in 2 months.
Yep.
Oh,
the servers are literally not working.
Really?
Yes. They can't even play the game. Yeah.
It's not, and that's not even just Strive. That's all the Arxis games. So Blue, DBFZ, they can't play it.
Wow, I actually haven't heard of this.
Yeah.
You gotta speak Spanish.
Sí, señor.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. And that's on top of them needing. Remember, they had the campaign for them to raise the price down because it was like the base game for Strive was like over $120 for South America in Arcade. So it's like they ain't had a pleasant trip to get to play those games.
See, this is where SNK steps in. I think they've already released the price for KOF in South America is like correctly, like 1-to-1 to what it's supposed to be. So SNK has a pretty big chance here to knock it out. You know, if they don't disconnect an entire part of the world from their servers, I think they'll do better than Arxis has. I think it's kind of crazy that's the situation those guys are going through, but you know, the fact that nobody knows, like the fact that it's been 2 months and it's been like that, that's insane. Like,
truth be told, like I wouldn't be surprised if more people knew about it. And honestly, it's just me being an ignorant American.
I know some of them get like people like Norton Knight to tweet it, so every once in a while it'll come up. But yeah, like if you're not directly following people from those scenes, like because I follow people who play like Sam Show and stuff, so I see it. But generally, the average person is not gonna see it. I think.
Yeah, it's funny. I'll click like on some Arxis stuff every now and then, and just underneath it there'll be some bunch of fucking Spanish things. Por favor.
Because I never click on those tweets and read the replies because most of them are awful. So
they're just like, "Ah, Dios mío, dos semanas sin Dragon Ball." Like
what, 2 weeks for Dragon Ball?
Yeah, like some shit like that. They'll say something like that, and I'm like, damn, what is going on?
South America ain't had Broly in 2 months, man. They suffering.
Yeah, they suffering, man. It's like you just took away their crack. It's like the worst they could have did.
Fall down there, man. Probably dying.
They're like, need power levels. But yeah, fucking Dragon Ball suffering. Not Dragon Ball, but Arxis game suffering in South America right now because of something. And obviously, I'm not a technical guy, but obviously it's server related and however they relay the information between the Japanese server and South America. And we know it's that way because we know we have fucking insane delay from here to Japan because whatever the relay system you use to communicate the server is why it's so delayed. Because if I remember correctly, I remember someone set up their Steam to be Japanese or something like that, and then when they did it that way, it has no delay because of how the information is traveling. Like you just load it automatically. Like it's just us.
Yeah, and also before they patched it, it would like run like 1,000 times. It was like 1,000 calls.
Yeah, it was like you just see it pop in like a count, like just over and over and over again. And
Yeah, so they fixed it, so it's not like 5 minutes anymore. It's more like 1.5, which is still pretty bad, but it is far improved.
yeah, but you know, I can get into a game of Blazblue in like 30 seconds. So it's still annoying. I remember
Which
someone
one?
I remember
Impact?
someone showed me that they could boot up plus R and then play a full round before they fucking got into the patch version of Guilty Gear, and then they showed me that they could fucking play like 2 games of fucking plus R after from the start screen, 2 plus R before the Guilty Gear Strive let them in.
Oh yeah, there was plenty of memes for that. My favorite one was the fact that you can actually do a full speed run of SM64.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that one.
You're doing a 0-star run, but you can do a 0-star run before you would connect to server.
That's a hell of a warm up. Alright, boot up stuff. Let me go ahead and speed run this shit real quick. Get my hands warmed up.
Let me beat a Link to the Past real quick before this fucking shit boots up.
Actually, you probably could. You can do like exploration glitch stuff.
Yeah, I know about that glitch. That's why I was actually mentioning it, so you can fucking just skip right past Ganon and go right into the motherfucker. But yeah, man, that's the Guilty Gear's Achilles heel. You got one more thing to add, Coach?
I said you basically got to preheat your oven to play Strive back.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Let me get my cast iron skillet ready real quick.
I mean, you could always do disconnect. Yo, man, come on, man.
Yeah, at least the PC version had a patch to fix it, and you can just jump right in like the Japanese version. But console players, they out there struggling.
Well, not only that, but they got to look at the eagle 3 times as long because their load times are so fucking boring. I remember I've watched that shit. I'm like, damn, that eagle looks ridiculous. And then I remember playing the PC version. I'm like, oh, no wonder I get to look at the eagle in the PlayStation version. It's like fucking 2-minute load time. It feels like. But you know, it's. I mean, come on. That game was not made for the PlayStation 4. It was made for the PlayStation 5, and then they were doing the kind thing of also putting it on the PlayStation 4.
Well, the other problem is that nobody owns PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X because there's shortages.
Yeah, because
we're stuck in this generation for probably 3 or 4 more years.
yeah, PC PS4 is the way to go for now. It's all you got. Is all you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Xbox really losing that bad? Like nobody's getting the
It's not Xbox. It's PlayStation, Sony, and Microsoft. It's just a global part shortage, so they're not making these consoles. So that's nobody has them.
Okay.
It's because a lot of things, a lot of things moving, causing that shortage. But yeah, that's Strive. I mean, I think I feel like I caught up with Strive there. Everything in Strive is as it was when it was released, I guess, outside of the
Great game.
fixing shit.
Great game.
I think it'll be like DBFZ where it'll change a ton in season. So season 2 Strive is gonna be like a different game, just like how DBFZ is a different game. Like you might as well just like, and back in the day, those would have been like different arcade versions.
Yep.
The way they changed those games. So that's
Super DBFZ.
Mm-hmm.
And it's every Guilty Gear has been like that too. Like every different version. So
I'm hoping they just add more
I don't
mechanics
know why
in the
they would
second
change.
version.
I guess we'll see.
They might change like the burst system or whatever. I don't think it's gonna be too crazy.
Yeah, they
I
Bane
will.
says that shit, and they're like, whoa, introducing a new mechanic, Mega
Please
Drive.
no overdrive. Please no overdrive
Mega
mechanics, bro.
Drive.
Please. I'm not in the mood.
Man. No, I think they'll probably add a good amount of stuff. They'll probably like alter the way the Roman castles work and stuff over time. It'll probably be like the game you're playing 3 years from now probably won't be anywhere near what you're playing now.
Yeah, just look at 5. We had real invincible reversals in that game when it first came out.
Man,
Those crazy times
back in the day,
back in the
you
day.
didn't need meter to get off your back.
Yeah, no, you just had it for free, and then you had mix-ups too, mid-screen. That was crazy.
Now you gotta play something else if you want that stuff.
Yeah, you gotta go back in time a little bit. And speaking of going back in time, let's talk about Blazblue. So fucking.
And you want to talk about invincibility? You got plenty.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of that game. Bates' favorite thing, invincibility. You think
Which Blazblue we talking about?
we're talking about
Cross
Blazblue?
tag? Hell yeah. Everybody got DP and cross tag.
Which one? The
Fair
original
game.
one?
Nah, we ain't talking about that game. Ain't nobody playing that
No.
game right now.
The original?
The original. You talking about Continuum, Calamity Trigger?
Calamity Trigger?
The only one
Gotta
that one, Calamity Trigger, and then the Calamity Trigger and the Continuum Shift. Those are the ones
Continuum
I played.
Shift, Chrono Phantasm.
I played Continuum Shift and Calamity Trigger. I played Calamity Trigger the whole way. I played like 7 characters. They were really fun. And then
Congrats.
Continuum Shift came out. Well, the game was fun. So like I learned like Carl Arakune. I learned Taokaka. I also learned New 13. I also learned how to play Tager a little bit. I didn't play Hakumen, and I didn't play Bang, and I didn't play Lychee. I think that game only came out with like 12 characters. So I think that's practically like everybody that was in that game. And the continuous shit came out, and they added, I think, Makoto, Tsubaki, and Mu 12, and Hazama. And then they try to sell me
Oh boy.
2 more characters for $8 a pop after buying this game for $60 a year afterwards. That shit was not. That's what pissed me off. I quit after that shit because they tried to sell me Valkenheim, who's cool, and they tried to sell me Platinum too. And
Hey,
then
man, he was in the base cast of the next game.
yeah,
You have to
for,
buy them
for
again.
60 more fucking dollars, for 60 more bucks.
So what about BBCF, man? What's on your mind?
So BBCF, I want to talk about this because this is actually really cool. So BBCF, if you guys don't know, whether I know you guys know, but the guys listening don't know, BBCF got a rollback in the last 2-3 months. I think it was CEO when they announced it, and I think I can't remember when they released it. I think it was like a couple weeks afterwards.
Yeah.
Either way, they released it with rollback, and it's in beta. They're still working on things. There's still things that don't work very well, but they're getting there. But the main thing is that you can play people in Blazblue online and not suffer. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because when I tried to play Blazblue Central Fiction the 4 other times I've tried playing Central Fiction like once a year for like 3 years, I think. I would just boot it up, do some trials, and try to play online. But let me tell you, the lobbies were laggy. Like, the move across the lobbies had delayed inputs. And I was like, oh, hell, what am I walking into? And if I would play somebody, anyone I could find on Blazblue, because the lobbies were kind of sparse back then. And it didn't matter who I connected to. This shit was awful. It was, like, really shitty. And so every time I got an opportunity to play Blazblue, I was like, well, fuck this shit, because I can't really enjoy this shit. And I didn't really have any interest in playing it in tournaments. So, for me, if I'm going to play a fighting game casually, I'm just going to play online when I have, 30 minutes to kill, 40 minutes to kill. So I never got the opportunity. But then I play with the rollback they have for the game. It feels fucking great. It's fucking amazing. I can't even tell half the time I'm playing online. And it's so strong that people are still playing this game, right? So that game's community, if you looked at the amount of people playing that game on PCs in particular anyway, because I don't think the PS4 has rollback yet, but on
It does not, no.
PC, I think on average there was 200 people playing, 300 people maybe, 250 were playing Blazblue on average a day. It fucking exploded to for a while it was 2,000 people. And then it's kind of dropped down to 1,400 on peak. But it's still pretty impressive. Because this is an old game. And no one is going to buy this. So there's these, I think most of the people playing it are just people who enjoy fighting games. Because I don't think anyone who is... I could be wrong. People who are just casual fighting game players that just play for to kill time during the day, I don't know if they would go back and buy Blazblue just because it has rollback. But for the most part, the game is kind of feel like it's got a second breath, a second breather, a second wind. And the reason I say this is because the amount of people playing on Steam is very close to the amount of people playing Street Fighter V on Steam specifically. And that's impressive to me for a game that's from that old and looks the way it looks. A 2D game, not without the bells and whistles of fucking 3D and shit. it's impressive. It just to me, it's impressive. Seeing that shit is impressive. I don't know. I got nothing else really to say. It works. I'm having a good time with it. Obviously, the things that the things that may make other people not like Blazblue, I don't really care about too much because they don't bother me really. But for me, the game, being able to play it for real has been great. I can finally play a game with the things I want in them. I don't feel like I have to play. So that generation of fighting games is cursed. So like I like Street Fighter 4, but it's like damn near unplayable online. So if I want to play Street Fighter, I have to play like an older Street Fighter title, like on Fightcade, or I have to play Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 4 is like locked out of time. Street Fighter, so and like fucking.
Did you? I'm derailing you. I don't care anymore. Did you play Street Fighter 4 during its time?
Yes.
Did you play it online?
Yeah, it was awful.
But you still did it, right?
Oh, it was the worst shit ever. Yeah. You know why?
Why?
Because everything else is awful.
GGPO was awful back then?
Oh, I played that shit. Do you know how to port forward?
Skullgirls, that's good shit. Skullgirls looking alright, man.
Nah, Skullgirls was not looking alright. Skullgirls didn't even fucking. Skullgirls took 5 minutes to load up on Xbox.
Let's not talk about Xbox Skullgirls.
Yeah, so I remember these things.
Yeah,
These things are lost to time, but I remember these. I'm living proof. I remember these fucking things. Xbox Skullgirls was awful.
It
So-
was.
And then they never updated it. After
Yup.
Yeah, they never did.
Yeah, they never changed that shit.
It's gone. It was. I think after like a year and a half, they did. I think.
It was about a year and a half, but that was ultimately why that game had a lot of potential in the beginning and it fell off because when it came out, the most events were still ran on Xbox. They're still on 360, and then since it didn't get updated, but PlayStation was getting updated, people were like, "Well, we're playing this old, outdated game that isn't a main company game or anything, isn't a first party game. So yeah, let's go back to these first party joints."
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. No, I'm not gonna lie. That's back when I was on my Capcom dick riding days. So like, I was ride or die Street Fighter 4. So when I
Look,
played,
Bait, you gonna stop talking about jab cross clock out, okay? Look, man, just because nobody knew how to play it back then, you gonna throw all this shade at this game. You're gonna overlook the cool things like the team mode.
The A ranking cross tucking. I was the A rank. I was pretty solid, you know.
You're gonna throw all this shade. You're gonna like overlook the team aspect. Something that would have been really cool if the game wouldn't have just got like thrown to the wolves in the beginning.
Yeah, it did, man. Look, man. I like the idea of 4 people playing each other, like 2v2. We didn't. Has there ever been a 2v2 fighting game like that before?
Well, Tekken Tag.
Like where like 4 players.
Well,
made
4
up
players
the
can
match.
play at the same time.
Yeah. Basically, is what I'm saying.
I mean, all right. You're gonna have me hang myself here, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. All right. I don't even care if this is on record.
Oh, no.
Smash.
Oh no!
oh no!
Smash.
You
But like,
okay.
but for like traditional 2D or even 3D, like what is commonly referred to as fighting games and not platform fighters, another genre of fighting game. I don't think so. Like I said Tekken Tag 2 because I didn't know you were Tekken Tag because I didn't know you were gonna talk about like 4 players in the match. I don't think it had it. But I want to say that was one of the big selling points of Cross Tekken.
Because I remember their big like cameo for Street Fighter Cross Tekken was like that 2v2 Evo thing, right? And then they did the house where Ares famously
Cross Assault. Yeah.
Cross Assault. Oh no!
Yeah. Where Ares famously hung himself and recovered greatly from that.
Cross Assault.
Yeah,
So-
that was a questionable error.
Yeah. So I remember being like, "Oh shit, they really want this to be like a fighting game with like teams," But that shit didn't pan out. And then the famous Cammy jab, where you could just jab a motherfucker down home block.
And Raven had the same jab.
Oh yeah, Raven. And then like time overs was a thing. So it was just like, damn. And then you had a mechanic in Pandora that I don't even think, if they had bounced it a little bit more, it could have been a cool mechanic, but it was kind of like, why would you do that when you could just host somebody out. You know what I'm saying? That game was funny.
Yeah, the thing you're getting to about having more than 2 people playing a game, it's not really an explored thing. There was a cross Tekken. Something that I keep hearing people told about, or one specific person told about, is that it was in 14 for the net play in the lobbies, where you can have like the 3v3 teams, but like standard KOF,
shit.
but you can have 1 person per character. So you literally have 6 people playing.
Yeah, party mode, whatever they called it. I want to say MK9. It's tag mode. You could play 4 people on.
Oh,
I want to say you could, because I think there were team tournaments for that.
probably. I wouldn't be surprised, because that's one of those things where we're not NRS savvy at all. It's not going to cross our mind, but that sounds vaguely familiar.
Because
Hey, man.
BB
I'm
tag
with it,
basically
though.
from MK9, the tag mode, because a lot of it's
I'm with
similar.
it.
Anyway,
You ain't
Go
trying to
ahead.
have no BB tag like that. Oh no!
I'm with it. Yeah, I'm with it.
The realest cross combo. Anyways, you want us to keep moving. Where are we going at, host?
all I was bringing up is that the games of that era are practically locked away for the most
They're
part.
3D.
Yeah, they're almost all 3D. Luckily, Blazblue Central Fiction is not. So it gets to move on, right? So I get to enjoy Blazblue, which I didn't get to enjoy the last time Blazblue was actually out. But games that I would like to play instead of playing newer games would be like Street Fighter 4, but I can't do it. So Blazblue, to me, is like a nice little experiment of like, would people go back to play Street Fighter 4 hard body if they just made the shit playable online? Probably.
I think so, yeah.
Healing.
Yeah, that's just trash. They need to do one last patch. The final patch. Just get rid of her.
Healing.
That game
man,
got
you ain't
fucked.
gotta get rid of Elena, man. Come on.
Oh,
Look,
you,
man, they
okay,
still have
Balrog.
a-
What are you supposed to do about that bitch?
Nothing.
Look,
And I'm the one saying don't get rid of it. So that means there's something to it.
Just pick the AE mode, man. Because they let you do that.
That
They
is true.
specifically let you go online and use AE 2012 mode.
That is true. I could go back and pick AE 2012 mode. But I would like to play Street Fighter 4 again with the same kind of idea, like where they just get rolled back. I want to see how many people play it on average. Because to me, a 1400 average after 2 months on PC is really good for a fighting game. Because usually people are done after like 2 weeks. And then,
It's one of those things where it has the context of, being around for many years, building up a huge player base, right? And so there's people who were just waiting for it. So like games like Street Fighter 4, KOF 13, they'll have that kind of thing because all the tournaments, all the people playing it over the years would just, you would have a degree of them come back and play it.
this is a lot of people just don't like the new shit, right? And they just they got the opportunity to play the old shit in a way that doesn't make them want to rip their hair out, then they'll do it.
I'm not trying to sit here and play all these games with all these auto combos and these big buffer systems and everybody
Yeah,
just
I want my
power up
goddamn
meters.
DPs back.
Let me go back to my day and age where, if I put you on your ass,
I won instantly. Damn, I just laid to sleep. GG's.
Outplayed.
Outplayed. You were playing Akuma. Outplayed. The good old
Man,
days.
Man, I think stuff like Persona is gonna get updated, like despite all the whining on Twitter, but since it's like in the BB system and made with that same system, it'll probably get updated, just like a BB tag is going to be updated.
That would
that
be
is-
cool.
that is going to be hilarious when that game happens. I'm still waiting for it.
If you have V Trigger, don't even talk about Persona.
Oh yeah, I don't like that game at all.
It's like, don't even talk about Persona.
No, I do not like that game. I played that game when it got first released, and then I played it again when they released the second one. I did not like either, and I never went back.
You didn't kill Narukami. You didn't kill Chie. Well, all right, buddy, go ahead, buckle up.
Let me tell you something about Narukami. I remember the first day I was playing that game and someone did that super, that's a beam super. You couldn't fucking see him and he RC'd this shit. I was like, I don't think this game's for me. I was like, I don't
Yeah,
think-
I
What
one more
man?
verse
Those,
on it.
those mix-ups and those powerful things those characters have, man. That's what you wanted.
yeah, but you know the difference is? I ain't got a giant ass beam to fucking RC. I would have to pick the same character.
Just pick a Dachi, man.
Oh, yeah, he was good as fuck too.
And he didn't even need to do it as a super.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. Oh, like this game is not for me, man. I can't do this shit. Back to Street Fighter 4 I go. Street Fighter 4 was my home game. So like I would go try Skullgirls, back to Street Fighter 4. Go play fucking Blazblue, back to Street Fighter 4. Go play fucking Persona, back to Street Fighter 4. Play fucking Street Fighter Cross Tekken, they fuck it up, back to Street Fighter 4. I tried Tekken for a little bit, and then I went back to Street Fighter 4.
Yeah,
was like
we know
my
you
home
played Tekken around here. Poke chop killer.
Nah.
Immediately quit afterwards. Hell yeah.
I like.
Went out
well,
on top,
I peaked.
didn't he?
I like you put it like that.
Still got the footage, man.
I can't believe
Did he win a tournament?
top 8 in the U.S., man.
You don't have the footage.
I still got the footage, man.
No, you don't. He deleted that shit.
So you think?
No way you have that.
Why would I delete like random ass pictures and videos?
Give me that shit. You know, Pochop pretends that shit never happened, right? Give me that shit.
All right, I gotta dig it up, but I haven't.
He does do a good job in pretending like it never happened. That shit is hilarious.
Give me that shit. I'm like, I beat you. No, you didn't. Yes, I did.
You ain't gonna become one of those Fighter 5 players, are you? Where they post all this matches on Twitter. Like, look, this is what I did to Poke Chop.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
No, you know why he says you didn't beat him, right?
Why?
Because it wasn't in a money match. Money match?
You didn't fight him in the real where it mattered, man.
Nah. Man, give me that shit whenever you get a chance. Fucking, I need that. I gotta fuck with Poke Chop. That's all I really had to say about Blazblue. It was just, all I had to say was like, it's cool. It's cool to see it the way it is. Because honestly, if at this point, if you like Blazblue and you don't, you definitely know it by now is old. you know if you like this shit or not. I wonder how many people. I will say this though. I don't know how many people are brand new to Blazblue and didn't like it. You know what I'm saying?
There's quite a lot of people who are trying it because, like, when a rollback patch comes out, people will just try it because that's what people do.
Yeah,
and you got to remember, it's like on sale for $2 during the whole time.
Yeah,
so it's like
it makes me.
It's pretty low impact.
How many people are brand new out of these people that are still playing? That would be interesting to know. That would be cool. I don't know. There's no way for me to know for real. But there's no way for me to look at the numbers and be like, well, this portion of people are brand new players and not returning players. Because to me, I'm new. Because I ain't played since the fucking first one. And I don't know. I didn't know nothing about 90% of these characters when I got to play this one again. And all the mechanics are pretty different.
But since you played one in the series, according to you, you're a Blazblue player through and through. So
I'm not a vet.
You're in the old Vanguard.
Would that make me an old Vanguard if I played one game?
Yeah. According to you, they're all the same.
What about according to you?
That's how a series works.
What about according to you though?
It don't matter. I'm not.
No. I'm asking you now. I'm asking the hard questions.
I mean, you know my answer. The answer to that is no. But this isn't the Dogi podcast.
Okay, so that's all we know then. Dogi says no.
Well, PAINBOT says yes. And
so we answering for each other now.
not veteran BB tag player PAINBOT.
veteran BB tag player PAINBOT says that BB tag is gross.
Profound Jubei player.
Played for 2 weeks.
Hey, you played the Blazblue game, so you played them all, buddy.
I am known to be gross. Man. Also, here's
hold on, real quick before you start off. All right.
Yeah.
Since they're all the same, since they have the name, does Alter Memories fit into this as well?
Alter Memories.
Isn't that the fucking visual novel game or whatever?
Yeah, the VN that S is from.
Oh my god! I remember she's from a fucking visual novel.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone I don't even. Can you buy that on Steam?
Isn't that a PSP game?
I think it's like PSP or something. Yeah.
I'm gonna check on Steam. If not, I'll buy this so we can say it.
Then they have a recent one to come out too.
You're talking about the phone game.
Phone game, yeah.
Yeah, the phone game.
Yeah, Dark Memories. I think.
Dark War Alternative.
Yeah, Dark War Alternative. They have some cool designs in that game.
You mean the game that helped fund this whole rollback?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. I said the same shit.
Except it didn't, because they trashed that game. That game got trashed.
Yeah, because it did everything it needed.
Damn, that was quick.
Vinny says that the visual novel is X-Blaze.
Oh, it's X-Blaze? All right, my bad. I'm wrong.
Okay, so that's where all those X-Blaze colors come from. Okay.
Man,
I don't know anything about the series. PAINBOT, you're supposed to be able to tell me this though.
look, I just told you about Calamity Trigger and Continuing Shift. All I can tell you is that fucking Ragnar, he tries to jump. He gets forced in the cauldron with fucking New 13, and then Noel saves his ass. And then the next game, Ragnar fights fucking Hazama, and then Hazama activates new fucking Noel and turns her into Move 12. That's the furthest of the story I know, and that's all I got out of that shit.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of you. You did more than sit in training mode for 10 minutes.
Shit, I played the story mode of both of those games. I dude, the first game sucked. Like the fuck, you had to play all these story modes, and then like to get the real story mode, and then you had to do the fake stories too, the ones that weren't canon, just to get to the real one. And so it was just tedious. I don't remember the second one was like that. But
I don't know if y'all had a BBCF on the PlayStation, but if you wanted to, what's it BBCF? But you had to do the entire story to play Susanoo. I think he's unlocked naturally in the PC version, but I remember like I had the game on Turbo going through the whole story just so I could play get the last character.
yeah, on PC we just have him. So I don't know if he's in the PS4 version like that. Like, you have to watch the whole story to get him. You know, that's how it works for Guilty Gear. Fucking Exard, you have to watch Exard to get the money to buy Sin. Because if you finish watching the Exard story mode, you get $100 million, which is $100,000, which is the exact amount of money to buy Sin.
I'm sitting here. Why don't I remember any of this stuff? Like I have these characters unlocked in these games. I don't remember ever doing this. Probably
Because you could also do this versus CPU because you told me you were training versus CPUs.
Yeah,
Money.
sounds about right.
Vinny says you had to watch the whole story mode to get Susanoo.
Yeah, that's so I remembered right because I was like, because when you said that, I was like, yeah, because I remembered you had to watch the whole story mode just to play that character, and it's like 6 or 7 hours long or something.
Well, technically, he's a big spoiler, right? So I guess that's the climax of the whole series, right? So like, I guess they didn't want to spoil who the big bad guy was.
I mean, for people who want to just get in there and play, that don't really mean much. That's actually funny enough. I rarely tell this story, but when I got Street Fighter 4, I was gonna play Cammy because I liked Cammy. Because I usually play Chun, but I was like, I'm gonna play some Cammy. And then I found out I had to unlock her, and I said, fuck it. I never picked her. Never picked her. Not even when Super came out. I lost interest at that point.
You're like, it's too late now, Cammy. You're dead to me.
Pretty much.
Fucking Cammy. You had to unlock Cammy, Rose, like Fei Long. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Sath, Sakura, Gulkin.
Yep.
Akuma, and I think that's it. Dan. I think Dan, too. Yeah, Dan. That was the last one.
You had to do the one character story mode, and then unlock the next character, and then I think Sakura unlocked Dan or something like that. So I eventually went back and did it because I needed them for trading mode, but at the time, I was like, no.
They've kind of not done that ever again.
That kind of thing doesn't happen anymore. There are some people like really casual people who miss that kind of thing, but like for people who play in tournaments who just want to get in there and get started on a character they like, they probably don't care much for the practice.
Well,
Putting it nicely.
Yeah. All right, so this last subject. Let's talk about these fucking content creators real quick.
Oh shit!
So
I live under a rock, so I wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying?
nah, you be seeing this shit. You showed me one of these fucking guys. You like ignore the thumbnail. Fucking so the content creation. So let's talk about content creation from back in the day. First of all, content creation back in the day was just straight up information dump, right? Most content back in the day was just either a guide, a general synopsis of some kind of strategy, or tournament footage. Like, that's really all content was back for fighting games back in, like...
Combo videos.
Combo videos,
yeah.
Yes. Those are also a big deal. People just love watching them shits. Obviously, by big deal, I mean, like, 10,000 people will watch a combo video, right? and
people made tutorials. They're not the same way they do today, but they did.
Yeah, they made tutorials. Well, I said guides, right? Guides is tutorials, same shit.
Okay, I thought you meant like game fact stuff.
No. I meant like a video tutorial.
Oh, okay.
They weren't common though. They were nowhere near as common as a game fact. Like,
Yeah.
Hey man, let me tell you about DJ B13. So I
Right.
learned my CVS2 guile. Anyways, keep going.
there was one guy who uploaded a Urian video called The Shin who uploaded Third Strike videos for like all.
Yeah.
That dude was like my number one resource for fucking Third Strike for like ever. I don't even know. He probably still is to this day. I don't know anyone else that uploads more than him, or if he even still does upload. But for the most part, that was the guy. And so fucking anyway, for the most part, those. That's all you got. It was just it was informative stuff or a showcase. I guess yeah, that's the best way to put it. It was informative or a showcase. Because either you're showcasing tournament stuff or combos, or it was informing you on how to play your characters and like certain strategies, and that was pretty much.
Let me stop you. Which era are we talking about?
I'm talking about like between the Dark Ages and like 2000 and like I guess the end of Street Fighter 4.
Okay, because I gotta stop you because there was definitely a lot of off kilter stuff, that wasn't really like combo videos. Because Dogy's always gonna laugh when I mention this one, but then you had stuff like See the Shining Sea, the dude who was doing that series right there. There was a lot of stuff like that where people were just trying to be funny and interesting, not in the same way as today, like stuff like Demon Dan, but the See the Side and See where you had like Cody.
Oh, the See the Side and See is one of my favorite like. Since we're talking about content creation, See the Side and See is one of my favorite content pieces of all fighting games. Most people don't know about it because it was in the Street Fighter 4 era when content wasn't a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
The only content I was like I remember some shit like that, like fucking cross counter.
Yeah.
Like cross counter
was. Liang Hub was pretty popular too back then.
Yeah, they were just doing like compilation. Like Cross Counter would do some like you just watch them play. They were like the pioneers to like some shit like this. And
that was Damn Die 7, right? Is that what I'm thinking of? Or are you? Yeah, that was Damn Die 7. Were I thinking somebody else?
No, Cross Counter is Mike, Ross, and Gutex.
Okay.
That's when they would just go online and fuck around, and that was content. Yeah, we would just watch them like shit on people or get shit on.
Maximilian was pretty big too.
Oh yeah, he got his foot in the door, right?
Yeah, Maximilian.
He made guides, and then he devolved from that to like whatever the fuck he's doing now.
Man, that man got a foothold, but I mean that was at a time where people weren't gonna spend a bunch of money with studio equipment and stuff, and he did that. Yeah, there was like no competition, and so it happened to be like he kind of shines because like he couldn't do that today.
Nah. But so right now, content creation. I used to go, but back when I was like in my early 20s, I would just like look up videos on fighting games on YouTube and just look for like matches and like strategy guides and stuff. Let me tell you something, man. So finding shit these days is like wading through garbage. There's so much React and stupid bullshit on YouTube that I can't find the stuff I want to find. Like, it's really hard. Like, I fucking, like, okay, well, let me YouTube the Buki guide from, like, Street Fighter 4. I can't remember something. Buki. And then I get fucking 30 stupid big faces in the fucking way. I have to scroll.
B tier now?
Is a Buki B tier in Street Fighter 5? Like,
Combo trial number 4.
It was crazy.
Impossible.
Yeah, that shit.
Jump cancels a thing of the past.
Yeah,
I said this about a Buki.
Yeah, that shit is fucking making it really hard for me to find useful stuff. So it's almost like I can't. I know why they do it. Like I get it, but I hate them because to me there's no substance to what they're doing. They're like almost like. It's almost like they have nothing of substance because they're having to make content so daily to get money. So you can't make substance of value that often before it devolves into I did combo number 4. You won't believe what combo number 5 is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the nature. If you're somebody who's farming money or clout, that word, you can't.
It's a word I
The
haven't heard
worst,
in a while.
yeah, yeah. The worst thing that'll ever happen to you is not people disliking your videos. It's them forgetting you exist.
Yep. Yep.
Yep, that is true, man. If nobody knows who you are you really relevant?
Remember the guy who was trying to teach everybody how to play Sam Show? Because I mean, the new Sam Show doesn't really have that great of a tutorial. Whatever happened to him?
That guy got really fucking pissed.
And
Yeah.
people probably still comment on your tier list video, even though the game's
That's my most viewed video.
The tier list
It's
video?
the tier list video I made, and it still gets 100 views every day.
hilarious.
and it lines up with the logic you're talking about now, right? Because they don't want to know how to play Sancho. They just want to know what's good.
Yeah.
Man, go ahead and throw a clickbait thumbnail on that. See if you get 200 videos every day.
Well, on my stream videos or some shit.
Yeah, on that tier
On the
list
tier
video,
list video.
go ahead, update that thumbnail real quick.
And just see if it gets more for Samurai Showdown. You won't believe what I used to think about Samurai Showdown.
I mean, like if you probably did that with one of those goofy thumbnails at the time, yeah, it probably would have gotten big. But yeah, just in nature, that's the kind of thing people want to know. They don't want to know how to play Haomaru. They want to know how good he is, even though they don't really want to put that much effort into him, right? That's how the average person is.
How theoretically good could I be?
Yeah. or I like this character. How good are they? I probably won't play him regardless. But if they're not good, then I can cry about why I won't play it.
Fuck these guys.
I mean,
I know why they do. Like I said,
views, buddy.
they be getting views.
Yeah, it's about your views.
Oh my! What's my?
I'm talking about your tier list video. I said, yeah, that's the reason why it has views. That same logic, right?
Well, I made that with honest intent.
Yeah, but that's not the point.
Look, it was informative. I described everything. I never made another one, and I never put my stupid face on it. All right, let's just.
You didn't do the thumbnail, right? But you did the hot topic, the thing where it's like not what people are not going to learn about the game itself, but how you feel about it and how you're reacting to it.
That's fair. But I will say this: nobody else did it. It had to be made.
They couldn't top the content creation master at the time for Sam.
Oh yeah, I was on top of my game. I made content for game. I made content for a game no one was making content for. The only you know what the most viewed Samurai Showdown videos are? Think yes.
You're gonna tell me.
Justin Wong doing dumb shit.
And I wonder why.
Just him being a dumb shit.
But it's kind of like, here's the thing, right? When you talk about that shit, though, you kind of can't say nothing because people want to keep watching it, right? You can't tell people what they want.
I can't fucking stop these guys from compulsively clicking this.
But here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. If people don't stop clicking it, you're kind of wasting your time because it's like, if this is what people are attracted to, then so be it, It's just what they want. People, if they didn't want it, they wouldn't deal with it. But they deal with it, so it is what it is.
There's a psychology thing to it, I think. I think people, just for some reason, impulsively click videos with the fucking things that make them feel like they need to know more.
Yeah, that's all it is tugging at your curiosity. It's like, is Ibuki B tier now? It's just like, and you go in the video and they just randomly talk about Ibuki. Oh, back then I think she's pretty A+. Pretty good character. Like nothing exciting. It's just, you don't know what they're going to say. And it's like, well, I guess I am curious. That's the concept. That's how those articles, right, work, right? It's the same logic where it's like, this couple went to the Colorado mountains and you won't believe what they found. What did they find? It's probably like, well, they found a rock. I mean, you'll find out at the end of the article, right?
Yeah.
But it pulled you in, which is all that mattered. But there's still, again, and there's another concept, right? Even without the clickbait stuff, you got a lot of people putting out tutorials that aren't really worth much either, because they don't know any better, and they're just which isn't a bad thing because you got to put stuff out, learn, and sharpen it. But like when a new game comes out and it's popular, and you want to know character guides, and you see about 50 B&B combo videos, it's like, which one do I watch? It's like an information overload too.
Ye old Twitter tech.
No. I guess let's start making thumbnails. And I'll just fucking put a thumbnail that says this is clickbait and just get the shit over with.
You gonna
This
put your
is
podcast face on there, man?
yep. Just put my PogChamp face on there and just put this is clickbait, and then they'll click it anyway.
This podcast is a clickbait, but dot dot dot.
But do you know this for sure? But the capital BUT. But
Shit, it got so crazy that people started making videos on other people's thumbnail.
yeah,
So yeah, I saw this thumbnail the other day. It was pretty impressive. It's like, really? You did not just make a video on somebody else's thumbnail.
We're-
Like, really? That's what we doing? That's what we doing now?
look, man.
Jay
it's-
Long said this in his video.
you know what? You just did. Thank you. That shit was what I was about to say. It's so ridiculous to the point that people are fucking making videos about each other's videos that are talking about something that never happened.
Man, it's just a endless, like, yeah, it's like endless empty speaking, right? And it's just like you said, it's all there to game the algorithm, so that when you search Street Fighter, their names comes up, and then if you search Jay Wong, who's popular, you get to come up by comparisons. That's all it is, right? You just trying to stay ahead of the quote unquote YouTube game.
So stupid. I should just make a bunch of videos about these fucking content creators, and I'll just get views by like passiveness.
You should.
It'd be so funny. I'm like, well, I'm popular now because I just talked about these assholes.
Why
Yeah,
they
but-
assholes though?
Look at them.
What?
Jeez.
That's savage. But here's the thing, right? There's also consequence, right? You're that guy now, right? You don't get to be
Wow.
you don't get to be incognito no more. Everybody's gonna look at your opinion, and they're either gonna echo your opinion a bunch of times, or they're gonna just attack you over and over. Right?
All right. So
That sounds like, oh, go ahead.
am I the only one that caught that on the slide base just said that PAINBOT'S an asshole?
I've always been an asshole.
I mean,
I
am I
said it-
saying something new or like?
I laugh at what Base just said about being incognito, having people fight against us. Like that's basically PayBot already. He's already there. He just needs the numbers.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
There was so much
Oh.
shade he can't see the sun. Like all the shade that was just thrown at him.
Man.
Like, oh shit, where did the sun go?
People already fight him. People already echoed his Sam Show opinion. See, he just needs the numbers.
You can't get numbers from Sam Show anymore.
Like for
Wow.
me, I would hate that. Like I would hate to deal with that, man. I gotta go to every event I go to. Somebody gotta be like, hey man, I don't like what you said about my Nago. Nago is not brain dead. I'm like, oh, yeah, nice to meet you,
Yeah.
brother. What's your name?
Yeah, people are weird, man. But you gotta,
That
yeah,
would
look
be
at the other
so
side.
weird to me. Like you don't even know me, right? But you watched my video, so I think you know me. And the way you greet me is, hey, I don't like what you said about Nago. It's like what?
And people are like that already, right? Even if you don't put out content, if they know you, like, like a lot of there was a big thing on Twitter where the top players like, don't come up to me and just say my first name, because some of them are in friend groups, right? And they say each other's names, but you don't know them, but you know them from winning tournaments. And so some people will go up and be like, hey Daniel, instead of their gamer tag, like their friends and stuff. So like people have always been that kind of weird, but on the flip side of what you're talking about, where you wouldn't like that kind of attention, there are people who are addicted to it. So
I
it's
like
just-
arguing with people, so for me it'd be like nice someone I can yell at.
There you go, the other side of the coin right there.
Well, so
You
you would
think
defend your
Nago
Nago,
isn't
huh?
brain dead? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
like
I said what I fucking said.
But yeah, some people don't want to deal with that. Some people, crave it. So it just depends on who you're talking to.
Man,
And it's all just like a cycle ultimately, right? You put that crap on YouTube, so they click on your Twitch, and then they click on your Twitter, and then you get more views, and they spread, that viral clip of you calling Nago brain dead, and then all the people who think Nago is a high intelligent character will yell at you on Twitter, and then they'll click your Twitch and they go yell at you there, and it's just a cycle that feeds you more numbers because it's the almighty algorithm, as they say.
Then you archive it, you put it on YouTube, and people get mad at you, and they leave the comments. Then you sit on stream and watch, or you read the YouTube comments on your stream. Cycle that never ends.
Yep, it's all it is. It's all a game, as they say.
dude, I could have called Nago dog shit when the game first came out, and it could have been true. But now it's fucking like 2027. He's like the best character in the game, uncontestably wins every tournament. And he's like, why did you say he was dog shit?
See, that's more
that
content. Right
video
there.
was from 5 years ago.
even if you turn out to be completely wrong, that's more content. Because you say Nago's dog shit, right? And then people find out he's the best in the game, like say 6 months later, and then you make a new voice. I said Nago was bad, but is he really? And then you have your S tier with a question mark on it, right?
Yep, that's how it
And
works.
then you literally just make more content saying, "Oh, well, I was wrong."
Well,
10 minutes.
content creator admits he's wrong, not clickbait.
Yeah, you clickbait. I was wrong, and you don't even say it till the end of the video. So, in conclusion, Nago's pretty good, and I didn't give him the credit after they watched you rant 10 minutes about nothing.
About nothing. Man, I want my dog today.
My man said 10 minutes. Yeah, right. Okay.
10-minute rant. Yeah, 30
Yeah,
minute
From
rant.
PAINBOT? Yeah.
At least an
Well,
hour
yeah.
rant.
You do get paid by the hour or however many hours watched. So, yeah, you do what you got to do. And then at the end, you say your point.
Yeah. In conclusion, patch 4.74 has Nago being the best character in the game. The end.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to fucking like, comment, subscribe, and make sure to hit the like, comment, subscribe on your way up.
Hit the bell so you get those
I
notifications.
hate that shit. Why is there a bell? That's the
You
dumbest
get
shit.
the notifications.
Nah. Why did YouTube ever separate subscriptions from notifications?
Because there's some people that don't want to actually, add to the numbers of the content creators, but they want to know when they put something out there. So, send me a notification.
Yeah, but if you subscribe, you should get notifications.
Right. But I don't want to add to their number.
Well, what I'm getting at is that you can have a bell icon and get notifications, and the subscription should also give you notifications, because you have to do both if you want to subscribe and get notifications. You see what I'm saying? What does the subscription even do for you at that point?
It puts it in your sidebar and updates your recommended algorithm.
Not enough.
Fair enough, man. So click the bell if you want more.
Yeah. Fuck that shit.
Got
All right,
him.
guys. Well, I'm done for the day. I'm done for my little 3 minutes for the day. Thank you for giving your attention and clicking my video on your feed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And by the way, guys, let me know how you feel about a stupid topic that nobody cares about. Go ahead, put it in the comment section below, and I'll catch y'all later.
That's a more algorithm feeding, man. The more people comment, the more your algorithm benefits you.
People hit that comment section faithfully. What you mean Nago is broken?
Everybody got an opinion, and they gotta say it because they think it's important. So
I actually like reading people's opinions. Some people get really stupid, right? And then it's just a joy to read. It's just broken English and a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, keep that shit away from me, bro. I'm good.
I'm like, this guy's an idiot. Man, I'm gonna have a good time reading this on the toilet.
And it's not like I haven't heard people have bad opinions, but I don't like hearing 4 other people agree with it.
You're not a fan of strength in numbers, huh?
No, I'm not. Not in comment sections.
Oh man.
Also, I don't like people that correct every single thing, right? So, when I say correct every single thing, they only want to correct opinions. I mean, yeah, text. I don't know if that's still a thing where people are like, oh, no, it's actually this.
Yeah.
Or let's say you type something out, and they want to correct your grammar, correct state. It's that's all they're there for. They don't even care about the video.
Being technically right is what's driving them there, not the actual content. That's how some people are. Yeah.
Garbage. All right, well, I think we talked about it
it's
enough.
actually trash, sure. Get it right.
All right. Trash. I like saying trash anyway. Gotta put the ash on the end of it. Trash. All right, I'm done. This is the end of
You
this.
done?
I got my stuff out.
So we're free?
You're free to leave and tell everybody. You're free to go play Melty Blood.
This guy.
Whichever version you may like.
The original or type Lumina. You ain't really got much choice outside of that.
I mean, he could play at Cadenza.
That the original or type Lumina. That's what you said, right? That's all there is.
Current code don't
I'm leaving.
exist.
Appreciate everyone watching. We're done now. Everybody goodbye and all that good stuff.
Bye.